And other sci-fi TV news, Orville, I guess, MacFarlane, did an interview, and they were talking about it. And I guess a lot of people had the misconception that this was going to be just a ha-ha, funny, silly thing. Yeah. And he said there's going to be jokes, but it's not going to be, like his own words, it's not Spaceballs. Or it's constant parody, constant jokes. There's going to be a storyline here. There's going to be conflicts and action and drama and comedy. Which I think is good because a lot of people out there seeing those first two trailers thinking, oh, this is one huge parody. Yeah. This is a National Lampoon Star Trek. This is an actual real sci-fi show that just has a little bit of levity to it. Exactly. And he went on and kind of put Star Trek on blast. He was being as nice as possible in this interview, and I'll put up some of the quotes. He's basically saying he missed how Star Trek, the TV show, used to be about a bright future. About how humanity came together and we went to explore space and we weren't always fighting and it was the Earth Federation of Planets and we had our struggles and everything, but we were all moving towards a greater goal of the future. Yeah. And we always, and also in the original Star Trek, it always had this kind of moral compass of like, we need to do better. Even though these people are, you know, stuck in their ways and their old laws and stuff, but we know what's better. Yeah. We know, like, we can't fall into their... That shining light on the hill.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And MacFarlane even said, he goes, thanks to the Star Trek, especially with the Discovery show, from what it looks like it's going to turn out to be, it's opening up a void. Because it's not going to be hopeful. It's not going to be optimistic. It looks dystopian. But we don't need that in Star Trek.
Yeah, and he literally said we can't. All sci-fi can't be dystopian, but that's what's popular. Like going all the way back to when I talked about everyone hating on the Marvel's Capcom trailer. We seem to like negativity more. Yes. Yeah. 2017 is the year of negativity. Everything's bad. Everything's horrible. Everything's terrible. And I think MacFarlane sees that. He's like, you know what? I'm going to give people a different option. Something light, something bright, something hopeful. There's going to be struggles and you're going to fight, but you're going to turn around and say, you know what? As the human race, we have moved beyond all of our past. We may still have some of those struggles in the back of our mind, but together as a whole, we can move forward and have something grand, like a federation of planets.
Exactly. Some stability and some law and order.
And another thing, too, is all about it, he is a diehard Star Trek fan. He is a diehard sci-fi fan, so he's going to have reverence, too, about doing this.
Yeah, he's not going to just
do it right. Yeah,
he's not going to go out there and make fun of Star Trek every episode.
Yeah, as I said, like we were saying earlier. Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited, and I think MacFarlane's on the right track, and I think Star Trek is it. We're not talking about Star Trek as a whole, because it's not even close. Yeah. But right now, if it's against Discovery, sorry, I'm giving Orville.
Exactly.
Again, every single thing I hear... This is funny. Every piece of news I hear about Orville makes me want to watch it more and more. Exactly. Every piece of news I hear about Discovery makes me want to watch it less and less.
Every screenshot I see of Orville makes me want to watch it. Like, I just saw that one clip of them on the bridge, and I'm like, that looks so cool. I love that.
I think the first episode is September 10th, but I think that's the first Sunday night game. So I'm going to be watching that, so I'll have to record it, but definitely going to watch it afterwards.
Yeah.
That looks... I'm so excited. It literally breaks my heart to say I'm more excited for a show that inspired by Star Trek than the actual Star Trek.
But that's the people of Star Trek's fault. That I was watching and reading up on it. It's such a mess right now. They don't know what they're doing.
But for what it's worth, they have all the original writers from Star Trek. So for all intents and purposes, Orville is a Star Trek.
Yeah, just without the license.
And they get to let them do what they want to do. They probably were shackled. And I also found out about Discovery. Some of the budget's like $6 million per episode, and that's what you get for $6 million.
It's all that CG.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, speaking of CG, I'm glad you brought that up. Seth MacFarlane said, "I want to use CG as sparingly as possible. I want people in makeup. I want people wearing costumes. I want the aliens to be people in suits." That's the way you do it. Maybe do CGI for like the eyes. Maybe set they have like spines that open up and stuff. Yeah. But for the most part, that robot guy looks like a guy in a metal robot suit.
Exactly, like how Data was. Data was literally just white.
A man and everything. So it wasn't like unless like Star Trek Discovery is using CGI as much as possible and using. Oh, those Klingons look awful. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, I was also reading up a little bit on that too, and I guess they're saying that there are 20 different houses and it's a different faction. But why do they look so radically different? If this is 10 years before Kirk, when do they still look like they did in Kirk's time?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's almost like no one on this show ever watched any Star Trek episode. They literally watched the last movie and thought, oh, that's everything Star Trek is.
There are certain things and in geekdom and in pop culture that are sacred, and Star Trek's one of those things.
Yes.
If you mess with the canon or mess with what things are, people are going to notice and get upset about it. They just are.
Mm-hmm. But I got a feeling that if Star Trek Discovery fails, and it looks like it has a very high potential of failure, they're not going to blame the writers. They're not going to blame it. They're going to blame the fans. Well, they just weren't ready for a real good story, and it's always going to put it back on the fans, and they're going to double down.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to because the people who make terrible stories seem to always want to double down on the terrible story.
And that's what makes me mad, because there's good stories, and they don't have to be so, like I said, sad or just, weird. And
you want good stories, you just play Star Trek Online. Those are wonderful, because that's in the future.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful stories.
Yeah.
Remember when I played you that trailer for the cell phone game?
Yeah.
And it's talking about how, like, the Borg's coming in and, like, the different timelines are converging. So, like, you have all the different ships from all the different timelines all fighting the Borgs, and all these Borg cubes are coming in. It's like, oh, this is so cool. Then you see the Discovery trailer, and it's like, this is lame.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there's even ones you could do where, like, there's the parallel universe. You can have, like, one where the Terrans didn't lose, and then finding the Federation and go to our universe, and they're battling. I mean, there's so many more cool stories you could do, but...
But let's do a story about Spock's sister we never knew about, who happened to be the first Vulcan captain that we never knew about, who did all these amazing things that we never knew about.
Before Spock did them.
Yeah.
Before Spock did it.
And that's what makes me so mad about that, because in the old Star Trek shows, it used to be kind of subtle about those things. Not necessarily maybe like oh, I'm better than you or whatever, but like a good example was with Data, when he became, they put him as a captain. Then that one time, and that human guy was afraid because you're a computer. I don't want you kind of like...
You'll sacrifice all of us because you're
human.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of story arc. Not the fact that, I'm better than you and I feel like I should be top dog.
Subtlety works best, I
guess.
Yes.
And that was a C-plot storyline.
This is Discovery seems to be a hammer, and it's bashing you over the head with this idea.
Because like when Archer had that first Vulcan on the ship...
T'Pol.
Yeah. She took it humbly. She didn't say oh, I'm the best. I'm the first female Vulcan.
The funny thing also is too, like, there's also stories that are very top, very you can say confrontational, like the one where mind melds were considered bad back then, and people that did them. Well, that could be a parallel for like transmitted diseases that are deadly. See, but it was subtle. It wasn't in your face. It wasn't
exactly
bashing over your head about it. It was just here's the storyline, and here it is.
But it just all goes back to caring about the source material.
Yes.
The people who are writing for Orville care about sci-fi and knows that science fiction can be used as a kind of like lighting the way, showing you what we could achieve. Mm-hmm. And yes, I know not everything needs to be happy and great and wonderful, but something about Star Trek was something that we can always aspire to.
Exactly.
And that's what I loved when I first watched. I think the best person who put it the best way was speaking about Futurama again, when the way Fry talked about, I didn't have a lot of friends, but when I watched Star Trek and I saw how everyone worked together no matter where they came from, and they all were on this ship and they're all working towards a goal, it made me feel that the future could be something great and wonderful. I'm like, oh, it makes you shit.
And when you watch those 2-3 trailers of Discovery, you feel none of that.
You don't feel any of that.
Even in the Enterprise, for all its flaws, it really got good the last 2 years for all its problems. And they had hope and had inspiration, at least had that. All Star Trek shows had that. This doesn't have any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, because every Star Trek needs that. And
my heart can't take anymore. I shan't speak of it anymore.
I can't. It's done. But every time I see Orville, it's going to be competed. It's just going to talk about Star Trek.
Every time you see Orville, you have to mention Star Trek. You just have to do it.
It's like its brother or sister. It's going to be brought up every time.
I guess we'll have to get ready for Orville cosplays now.
I know. But the uniforms are great. I just love the way it looks.
I want the Star Trek and Orville people to fight each other.
Yeah, I know. The cross universe. Hi guys, Crimson Sin here. You just watched a clip from our weekly podcast show. Be sure to check out the full podcast available here on this channel. Also, if you like the content and you want to see more of it, be sure to hit the like button and also go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.